So we have seen how the function works. Now we will see how to write the conditional code. Conditional means naturally it will come if else or else if, this type of code. So these are very pretty easy. So just I will show you how to write that, and it's not really very tough job. Anyway, so just for time being, I'm deleting all the code here. So for example, I'm taking two different values. Say for example, a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Suppose, and I want to compare these two values. Naturally, I have to go for if else. And how to write this? You see, you can write if within bracket, and then you can say a, say equal equal, as you write in C, double equal. Okay, and then again you have to go for a colon. If you don't write colon, you will get an error. And you see, since thou, I mean, if based on the condition something will be say printed both are equal, and that should be under this condition. That's why you see automatically in this editor the margin of the print statement is appearing towards right of the margin of if else. And you can write here print say for example equal. Okay, and if you have to go for else, right, so in that case you have to write else as it is, but again a colon, then print different, something like that. So we'll start with a very basic one, and if you see, since both are not same, naturally it will show it's different. And even you can do some other job as well, like you can initialize some string or some anything you can do, right? And if both are same, then automatically they will say it's equal. But one thing you can do here, this bracket is actually optional in case of condition. You see, if you do same thing, there is no such error you will get if you don't give any bracket between the condition. It is a very important difference that we have with respect to C, if you say. So anyway, so what you can do for good practice, you can keep bracket, since you are already habituated to do this, so there is no harm. But there are many other cases you can go for if. For example, it's not about only equal to. Say for example, ultimately what I want to check what is the outcome of this a equal equal b. What is this? If you print just a equal equal b, you see what will be printed? True. After equal it is coming true. Equal is because of this particular statement, and then true. So that means the condition that you have given here will give output as a form either true or false. Okay, either true or false. And maybe sometimes there is a data type which we call none. For example, I can write here, say a equal to none. In that case, you cannot write a equal equal none. This will not work. It will it will give an error. I'm sorry, not error, but you can represent this same thing with another form, like you can say if A is none or A is not none. For example, if I write if A is none, then I'll go for say B equal to 10. Else I want to go for B equal to 20. Something like that. Suppose this is my point. I mean, instead of B equal to 10 or 20, you can do some other operations based on your requirement at writing program. But you can be something like this. But one thing is clear here, you see that if you look into the right side part, the in the variable explorer part, you will see that it's given A whose type is written as none type. What does it mean? It means that the data type of a variable has not yet been decided. That means you can put any data type over here, yet not it been decided, and which is given as none type object. Okay. Now instead of writing A equal none, you can also write if A is none. And you see B equal to 10 is coming because A is really none. But if you just opposite one, if you don't, if you check if A is not none, then also you say is not none. That means if A is not none, then it will show. Right now it is showing 20. Reason is that no, none is A is actually none. A is not none will be false. Right. So this is one example of using none. Another thing is that sometimes you require if else if type of statement. Right. So the else if actually we write in a form, for example, I want to check A for none and for another value, say for example 10, and rest of the values. So that means I have to go for else if statement, and else if we write as L if, something like this, ELIF bracket, and we can write say for example A equal 10. Remember, you cannot write A is 10. So okay, let's see if I can write or not. Say for example here B equal to 20, and for other values of A, say else, say B will be equal to 30. So and I have given A is as 10. Is it going to work? Yes, it is going to work. So equal, instead of writing equal sign, you can write something like a verbally, like if A is 10 or A is not 10 or something, anything like we say verbally, it's say A is 10 is not 10, something like that. So this is a part of if else statement we can use in Python language, and we can have many other complex operations. For example, if A is not none, then I can go for another if here and say I can say B is equal 20, something like that, and then some result will come, say for example print hello, and in this else part I'm just writing a very layman if else condition here. Say for example here I can write say hi, and I'm just writing here as say else of this part print. I'm writing here say for example say thank you, something like that. Okay, just arbitrarily I'm writing some strings just to show you exactly how it is executed. So first of all, we already have b variable here, so you must declare some variable b. Say for example I've given b equal to 5. So over here what will happen? Presently value of A is 10 and value of B is 5. So naturally you can easily understand that A is not none. Yes, that is true. A is really not none. 10 is not none. 10 is a value. So naturally this condition will be true. And if it is true, then it will come for next if. Where it is showing that no, B is equal to 20 is false. So naturally it will come in the else part. So hi should be printed, and definitely thank you will not be printed because this condition was true. So it will come here, not this else part. So if I print this particular statement, I mean this part, try to run this code, you will see it showing hi, this one, as expected. But instead of writing A is not none, if I write A is none, then what will happen? Naturally, I hope you can understand that A is none will be false because A is not really none, right? So since it is false, it will come in thank you part directly because this part will never get executed because this condition was false. So it will print thank you as expected again. Now, if I say that okay, A is not really A is none and B is 20. So you see this hello came because A is none, that is correct, and also B is 20 correct. So naturally this part will be printed. So the strategy of executing statements under if else condition is same for any language. So there is no doubt. What you can learn here actually, you can learn here how to code this. That is the only difference you can find with other languages. That for example in case of C, there is only one provision. You can go for some writing some conditional operator you can use, equal equal, greater than, lesser than, greater equal, lesser equal, not equal, something like that. Here also we can use that, but other than that also we can go for something like is, not, all these operators we can try to use. So this is the difference we have found, and obviously you can see that there is no such question of bracket because the indentation actually presents the bracket. By mistake, if you have any wrong indentation, for example, even in one space, for example, by mistake, suppose I have given else somewhere here. So as you can see, the if and else is not exactly over here, and it will show an error directly, which is given indentation error, unindented does not match any outer indentation level. The only reason is that because of this else, because this else and this if is not in, they are not aligned in proper margin, and that's why we'll get an error. And that is why it is extremely vital to keep correct indentation during write any program in Python language. You have to, you have to be very much habituated to write program keeping margin, considering margin or indentation, in case of Python at least. So this is all about the if else part. uh, mm, we have seen. Now next what we can do, we can go for checking, we can go for considering how we can write loops.